Being over 40. Oh, I forgot my age. I thought I'd do a video about the 7 guidelines that I've created to losing weight and staying slim and being over 50. Whew. It doesn't matter if you're in your 30s or your 40s or over your 50s, like me. It does matter how you take care of yourself. I had to do something a little bit different in my 50s than I would do, obviously, in my 20s. This is some of the things that you can take into account of being at any age, but especially middle age. And you know what? I'm actually over middle age, but I do plan to be here at least 102 years. So I'm middle age. Number 1, eating maximum, I mean like as much as you can, vegetables and fruit. You want to lean towards most of the vegetables, starchy vegetables such as broccoli or asparagus, even cauliflower, those kind of items that really have the maximum amount of vitamins that you can get in any vegetable. And think of it that way. So you want to add as many vegetables, maybe it's just salad too, put in those tomatoes, put in different kinds of things, cut up cucumbers, onions. I love red onions, so put that in your salad as well. Add that to your fat and your protein. We discussed before in the past macros, and basically what is working for me is sticking to a low carb diet with fats, protein, and veggies, because the vegetables are considered your carbs. And so the other things that are carbs that we really want, the pasta, the rice, the potatoes, things like that, you have to keep that to a minimum. And that's what's working. And it really will make a difference if you're trying to stay slim, even if it's just weight maintenance or losing a few pounds. Because we understand the older we get, it seems like the pounds do tend to tick up. But you don't have to be a certain weight just because your parents were, your mom, or anyone like that. Because we're older, we don't move as much and we're slowing down in that way. Our metabolism slows down. But there is no reason that we can't kick it back up. Number 2, choose the foods that make you feel amazing, okay? I mean, yes, we love junk food, we love a lot of sugar, but it makes you feel good at that moment. But you have to ask yourself the question, does it make you feel good afterwards? Is it sneaking a pound or 2 on the scale when you look at it in the morning? Or do you feel basically sleepy afterwards, that you've eaten too much of a bad thing? It feels good to be bad sometimes, and you can do that, but think about whole foods. You want to think of things that are growing in the earth and that God put on the earth for us to eat. And also think about good clean fats like avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, these kind of things, that you can add into your meal. And these are still part of being plant-based, but also you can have your meats, and fish is a great way to go, as well as even eggs. So if you're considering yourself a pescatarian or a vegetarian, every now and then you can sprinkle a little bit of that good protein in as well. High carbs is just something that just doesn't work for me now. It worked well in my 20s and 30s. At this point, low carbs is the ideal way for me to go. And I'm just sharing that as my opinion, but I know you guys will do your research and figure out what works for you, because it's not one size fits all. It really isn't. Number 3, I've had videos that dedicate to this, is portion control. We can eat all these great foods, but we still have to have a portion control. So if you're on an OMAD diet, 1 meal a day, you have to make it count. But at the same time, if you're trying to lose some weight, portion control is the most important thing when you make a meal for yourself. And if you want to get those pounds off, you have to consider, what is the calorie intake that I really need? Now, I don't count calories anymore. I used to. I really know what my calorie intake is that really works for me for weight maintenance. you have to look at maybe starting with an app and using a fitness app that would count your calories when you put in your meals. Do that for a week or two and get an idea of what you're consuming if you haven't done that before. When we think we're doing, say, 1,400 calories a day and you think that's going to work for you to lose weight, we really are intaking much, much more than that, because those separate ingredients, they sneak into the calorie count, and next thing you know, you're doing about 2,500 calories and you can't figure out why you not losing a couple of pounds. Number 4, after your meal, drink lots of water or drink lots of tea. These kinds of items will curb your appetite and it'll keep you away from the snacking. So I know I have snack failed many times. I get it. The warmness of hot tea in your stomach will help curb your appetite as well. And you know, if you are a coffee drinker, that's fine also, but you want to take that in consideration when you're doing fasting schedule. If you're fasting, you certainly don't want to have any sweeteners in your coffee as well as your tea. And number 5, that leads me to the obvious, choosing an intermittent fasting schedule. It's so important at this age that we really hone in on our eating window and give ourselves a break of the digestive system, always constantly working overtime all day. We don't need to constantly snack. We don't need to have a bunch of meals. If you are one of those that are eating at least 3 meals, then try to push that into an 8-hour eating window. So that'll give you 16 hours of fasting every day, and your body will thank you. Now, for those of us that are more of a veteran type faster, or I like to call it a fasting foodie, we are probably fasting anywhere from 18 to 22 hours, 23 hours a day. And then we go into extended fasting, which I do about 48 hours a couple of times a week on a good week. And most of the time ends up being 48 hours once a week. So it's okay. You don't have to pressure yourself. My schedule may not be for you. And so if you're thinking about doing extended fasting, maybe you're only going to do 48 hours, maybe once a month or once a quarter even. You can do it in so many variations that it will work for your lifestyle. And if you're a beginner, you know what to do. Start slow. And number 6, exercise is the key to keeping your body young. And also, we tend to get flabbier as we get older, over 50 and even over 40. I noticed it under my arms and I was like, okay, that can't happen. You have to do weight resistance of some sort. What I mean is using weights at home. I do that. I do anywhere from a 3 to an 8 pounder of weights. And I only do about 10 to 15 minutes a couple of times a week, and there you go. It really does make a difference, because we want to keep the muscles toned as much as possible, because that cuts out the fat, and that's where you get the fat loss. When you're doing weights or weight resistant type exercise, that will build the muscle, and then it's toning you up, and then you're losing inches. And you look better, you feel better, and movement is just key to loosening up your stress. And of course, when you take down the stress, then you will begin to lose weight. And number 7, eat a cheat meal once a week. It's good if you do that. Now, if you really wanted to have that cheeseburger, you really wanted to have that pizza, whatever it is, have it once a week. You should be kind to yourself and realize we're not trying to do a sprint here. This is a marathon, and we just want to be healthy and look amazing, but also feel amazing within, right? And be careful about overdoing it. That doesn't mean you go into the next day and you go out again, or you go into a third day. You know, it can go awry. So if you don't trust yourself, then don't give yourself a cheat day. As one of the viewers said in my past video, is we don't want to be in diet prison. And that's not what this is. This is just about planning your meals and feeling great, but also enjoying a cheat meal every once in a while. It's okay. So if anybody's beginning intermittent fasting and you have questions, or you just want to try it out and you want to look at the different types of fasting, I do have a cheat guide, and it's all about how to get started on living the fasting lifestyle. So the link is in the description box below, so please check that out. And remember, you're a fasting foodie. We want to fast so we can eat well and really taste our food. So remember, caregiving begins with you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Don't forget to check out my new website that's updated at regedited.com.